Good morning, Sundevils. Good Victory Tuesday. Had to celebrate that Veterans Day yesterday, the 11/11. But at the end of this week, we will be going to Manhattan, Kansas, in what is to be believed a huge implicating game within the Big 12. Right now, Arizona State and Kansas State are on the outside looking in, with their eyes on the prize within getting in that second or first place spot in the Big 12. And I just would like to say this: Kansas State probably feels a lot more confident about their position. Having the tiebreaker over Colorado, they are really just hoping on the downfall of Colorado. Just a loss with Colorado will put them in the Big 12 championship if they are able to win out. And that is asking a lot. We have Kansas State hosting ASU, and then they have to go to Iowa State. So they're going to Ames, Iowa, in a very, very lethal stadium atmosphere. It was a really great game to watch last weekend with the Texas Tech Iowa State showdown. But at the end of the day, I am so excited for our Sundevils to be in these Big 12 implicating games. I called this at the beginning of the season, called it in the middle of the season. I knew we would be at this point. Now, from the outside looking in perspective of national media, people just not acquainted with ASU, they would probably see our schedule and see a lot of unfavorable matchups. If they lack context, they probably have a lot of reason to believe that there's no way we finish 3-0. What does winning out with this Sun Devil team implicate? Well, in my opinion, it infers that this team deserves, not even if we aren't able to get into that Big 12 championship, I feel like this team does deserve an at-large bidding. Within the theory, the hypothetical that ASU can win out, I'll paint the picture for you. All right, so we'd have ASU knocking off the 17th ranked Kansas State Wildcats. Right now, I think they are 19 in the AP, but I do feel like they will go up, just being off of bye week. I think they will get up to 18 or 17 in CFP. But ASU knocking off a Kansas State ranked team on their home field, everyone has a reason to believe that ASU would be ranked after this Saturday, after coming off a win. So if we are ranked after this Saturday, we're 8-2, we're probably in that, 21-22 range, because you can't put an 8-2 team at 25 like that. So under the assumption that we are 21 or 22, are we able to make a 10 ranking jump if we're able to knock off BYU? That is the question. That is going to be all of what is in the hands of the CFP committee and how they see our strength of schedule, see our performance, and base the eye test on us as a football team. In my honest opinion, anyone who knows ball, has that knowledge, if they're going to watch us beat these two teams back-to-back weeks, ranked very good Big 12 opponents, I feel like we have every reason to believe that we would be at least 12th ranked. So under this situation, if we don't get into the Big 12 championship, this would be under the circumstance that Colorado does win out and BYU does not drop another loss, or not even another loss, their first loss. Because at the end of the day, they're hosting Kansas and they're hosting Houston. Believe it as you may, Houston has a great defense. Kansas is an explosive team, just lacks a lot of results to prove that. I like BYU potentially losing one. I'm not going to, I guess I would be lying to say that there isn't any bias in that, that statement right there. But if I was going to a different school, if I was on the different side of the country, and I just watched ASU play football, this week, last week, I have every reason to believe that this team is legit. I love the run defense. I love the defense overall with this ASU team. You can say it as you may. RJ Harvey putting 127 on this run defense obviously is, a great performance, but RJ Harvey is in my opinion, probably number 2 in the Big 12. Like, the only guy I'd maybe put ahead of him is maybe DJ Giddens, but, I'd probably put RJ Harvey just a little step ahead of Cam Scatterbo. And as of right now, just going up against a very good UCF defense last week, I think we have a lot of momentum. Like, I do believe in this coaching staff and this player personnel to carry on this momentum and really just go into Manhattan as underdogs and knock them off. Like, chip on the shoulder, Sundevils. This has really been the case, the title of this team, and they've really played under this identity all year. But now things are coming into fruition for this ASU squad. We'll get up into the AMA segment real quick. Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say. Right, for the AMA segment, we have a member of our Arizona State band. He is an alumni. We got to just give the shout out to that, because anyone who recently graduated and, was a part of the time frame within the Herm Edwards era probably didn't get to see a lot of good football games like we did get to see last weekend and even 3 weeks ago against Kansas. I mean, every home game has been a movie, but I just want to say this, all right? So Philip EM 1000 says, ASU has won 7 games, most of them by a few points. I have a theory about teams that win or lose a lot of close games. They are either on the way up or the way down. They lose close games because they aren't quite there yet, or they win close games because they're working on the drags of what they used to have. This team is on the way up. Can't say how many more games they'll be able to sock away this year, but next year looks very good. This is clearly a season to build on. Guys, this is what Activate the Valley entails. It really is about creating a foundation. And I know the Valley is activated now. I know anyone who's on a visit or is a potential recruit for Arizona State is probably, widening their eyes a bit. There's just a lot more gold down here, maybe just untapped treasure, as I would want to put it. It was a really cool experience just being able to see ASU get that one out. What I loved about it was the fact that it was the same score as the Kansas game, 35-31. I loved that, but I just want to add this kind of context. I knew that UCF was going to miss that field goal. I knew that we were going to be able to 3-and-out them. All in all, I loved the performance of this team on 3 sides, 3 phases of the ball: special teams, defense, and offense. Everyone capitalized on the inefficiencies of UCF. What I really want to say is this. So, yes, this is something really cool to build on. Now, this is from the perspective of Trevenchy. So, Saturday morning, the morning of the UCF game, I was able to meet the entire team. I was outside their practice facility, and once they had their pregame meeting, in the morning, they pulled up in their shuttle buses from the hotel the night before. They all pulled up together, and I got to meet everyone. And it wasn't just the whole let's go Sundevils. It was a lot of really informative stuff that I was trying to get to these guys. Like, talked to Keith Abney, told him be careful with Kobe Hudson. Talked to Sip, told him good luck now that Cam's out. Talked to the O-line, told him good luck. UCF's a good defense. Good luck in the trenches. Talked to JT, Jordan Tyson, and told him that I loved how much Hines has been an inspiration for him. I got to talk to all these guys, and it was cool stuff. I even got to talk to Leaf, told him I loved his big brother, Troy, because can't wait for him to get back and healthy in the playoffs. That's besides the point. The energy of this team was unified. They walked out together, joking around. Sam Levitt was the smallest guy in his group because he was hanging out with all the O-linemen. Guys, this team has a lot of personality. And before the season, when we were just talking ball context, I think we can all agree there's 2 sides of being a successful football team. It's about being a unified team as a team, right? Just down to the basics of sports, being a team. And the second is establishing an identity when ball comes, when the snap starts, when the whistle blows, right? I knew within the sidelines, within the hashes, I knew that this ASU team was going to be good this year. At the beginning of the year, I felt like our identity was going to cater towards a running game, and that was just because of the the lack of confidence in what this passing offense could be. Just knowing Sam Leavitt was a underclassed redshirt freshman, just knowing that Kenny Dillingham just previously got rid of Jaden Rashada. It's like there was just a lot just going behind the context that this will probably be a running-oriented team, especially now that we're in the Big 12. What we've seen is that exact identity come into fruition. Now, when you're a running team, you want to be scary off the bus. You want to be imposing your will within the hash marks. You want to be scary, right? You want the trenches to be dominated by your colors. You want the other team to just break down by the fourth quarter and just to veer off on those tackles, miss a little bit of tackles, just lack of effort towards the end of the game based on war of attrition. That's what we wanted, right? Well, that's what we've seen. We've seen a war of attrition or war on attrition within our opponents. And coming off, we are now 5-0 at home. Coming off an undefeated home record, guys, we're legit in running the ball. So at the end of the day, when I was just previewing the season, I knew we'd be able to run the ball and we'd need to stop the run. Stopping the run was already it was a huge a component of this defense coming together, because stopping the run, I felt like, was fed off of their turnovers, right? They started off the season heavy on turnovers margin, and they took away the football. And I feel like that gave them enough confidence for them to believe, yeah, we're actually a good defense. All we really need to piece together now is stopping the run. Because if they do try to just go all passing on us, I know we can get a turnover on them. And yeah, we didn't get a single turnover on UCF, except for the fact that their kick returner, kneed it down basically at the 1, and we got a pick 6 from it, right? That was an amazing call. I loved LT just following his key, just following his man, and then just looking up, catching that ball. It was a really miraculous interception. But other than that, it wasn't a point where we made Dylan Risk, turn the ball over. It was a situational interception, and then we had the pump block. Guys, I like us against Avery Johnson this Saturday, because I know Avery Johnson is probably going to turn the ball over. And if we're able to stop the run this Saturday against DJ Giddens and Dylan Edwards, the best RB tandem in the Big 12, I like us forcing Avery Johnson to win this game. Guys, we may be the upset. And even if in any sort of scenario, win or lose, next year is different, right? Like game 1 is going to have a lot more hype. Kenny Dillingham obviously is going to have a lot of support from the Sun Angels and will be getting a lot of transfer portals. But you guys need to remember this. This is the number 2 team in the country in newest additions on the team. Guys, we have 68 new players. Guys, this is a new team. So I hope you guys can all enjoy this week. We're 7-2, just right behind the Big 12 standings. We have a shot at the CFP right now, and I know we're playing to our fullest capability. Let's see us win a game in Manhattan. Thank you guys so much for watching today's Daily Pitchfork, and I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks. Have a great day, guys. Have a great Tuesday.